All right. So أول شيء I want to thank you guys اللي كانوا على الجروب for sending all the pictures. يعني it's really هيك إنه مثل جملت the feed على الجروب and I love it. Even the cat pictures, they're nice too. So I don't want this to be like a session where I just speak and you guys listen and we don't do anything else. I want this to be a give and take. So I'm here to help you guys find better pictures for your Instagram, for maybe stuff you want to advertise on your Instagram, maybe for products. So at any time when I finish explaining something, I want you guys to ask me questions, whatever concerns you have, etc. Okay? Cool. وعينكم.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Okay, so first, إذا في هيك كم حدا بس يقول لي أول شيء you all understand Arabic صح؟ So في خلط.
صح.
All right, cool. So I want some of you to tell me اللي بده يحكي. First, maybe why you took this workshop, why you chose to be in this workshop, and maybe what does taking pictures mean to you, or where do you hope it would take you someday? Why do you take out your phone and snap a picture? I would love to hear some answers.
Also, guys, this is like a safe space, so don't be shy if you want to like turn your cameras on or unmute or something. But you can also just stick to the chat, whatever.
Yeah, I don't mind. You guys can talk, open camera. So no one wants to share why
Hi, Rami.
the instinct of taking a picture.
Hear me? Hi.
Here we are.
Hi. Honestly, like,
Ah, okay, so we have people on the chat. Okay, I suck at taking pictures and I want to have nice memories with whatever I snap. I take pictures for the memory. Can you hear me cry?
hi.
All right.
No one.
Okay, cool.
Yes, Nadine, we hear you. We hear you. Hi.
Sorry, it's my internet. Hi guys. Hi, Rami.
Hey.
Thanks for like being here. It's gonna be so awesome. So just to answer your question, like I really love taking pictures and like videos as well. I know this isn't like the geography; it's more photography. And like the reason I do it is because it's a great way to capture memories and like beautiful sceneries and beautiful people. Because like you know how they say like when you take a picture, like it's like that's like a second or a minute that you're never gonna get back, kind of. So it's nice to have that somewhere. So that's why I love doing it. I consider myself very amateur, but I do love to like learn how to get better at it. So, yep.
Okay, cool. كتير حلو الشيء اللي قلتيه and we'll talk about it in a little bit. Anyone else? Yeah.
Um, okay, so I'm a really, really shit photographer, like quite horrible. But my mission in life is to build like the skills to have at least an Instagram that shows like my personality, like photography wise. And I think it's such a nice skill to have. Like when I look at pictures, I'm like, wow, but I really, really like I suck at taking them, so I want to learn how.
Okay, cool. So خليني أقول لكم شغلة. Technology has made all of us, or at least made us have the potential to be photographers because of our phones. Okay, and the reason why we chose this workshop to be generally about phone photography is because of that, because we all have the ability, we all have the needs right here to take a very, very good picture. مش ضروري يكون the latest phone with the best camera. في يكون an old phone. It's just that you have a camera wherever you go. And that itself is a big part of taking a good picture, taking a picture in general. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen. One second. All right. Can you guys see my screen? All right. So I prepared a presentation مش a presentation يعني a PowerPoint presentation but just يعني at least
Yeah.
a few examples of rules that we keep in mind while taking pictures.
Rami,
And
I
that
don't
would
want to
make
cut you
pictures
off,
better.
but
Yeah.
someone answered your question in the chat. If
Oh,
you
okay,
if you
one
want to
second.
see the answer.
How do I get back to this?
Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Jenna says, I love taking pictures and videos of people and the scenes around me. I also intend to help my mom with her new business, so I'd like to learn how to take pictures of objects.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Okay. Who was it?
Jenna. I don't know if there's two Jenna, but Jenna El Moed. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
Okay, Jana. Then, Jana, I will keep that in mind because we will do that in this session. Okay, so I wanted to ask Awalchi because I know that some of you might have taken some photography courses in university. So if any of you have taken these courses, you might be familiar with what we're gonna talk about هلا اللي هن compositions. So please do tell me, Anna, as most of you took these, I would go over them quickly. And if not, I can take my time. So let me know as you have taken these things or not.
I've taken a photojournalism course, and Georgia Azad like has gone over them quickly, but like I really don't mind you going in depth about this, and like also
Okay.
about other people.
How do I open the thing again? I'm so lost.
Cynthia, I'm going to let you take this one because I am not really good with technology when it comes to
Honestly,
this.
I don't know, but I guess we
Oh.
can just read it.
بعتقد شايفين ضايع like I'm pressing everywhere to get
Yeah.
back to the to the meeting.
I think,
Anyways, I'm gonna start with these. So to get a good pictures, we need to keep in mind our composition, hence our framing. Why do we choose to take this angle, not the other angle? What's so interesting about this picture? Because it just looks good and I want to replicate it. What makes this other picture interesting? So كل ما على تليفوني لأصور صورة, all of these rules, let's call them, just pop in my head. And later on, when you start practicing those rules, and when you start seeing them, بيصيروا خلص بيصيروا innate. بيصيروا كل ما you see your picture, you would think about them. How do I make this interesting? Okay, by doing this, by applying that rule, by doing that. Okay, so these are called compositions. And the first one is the rule of thirds. So I have no doubt that you've seen this somewhere. Okay, so this is what we call the rule of third. You can actually access this grid that you see on your phones. It's the settings. It's called the grid, G-R-I-D, grid. Okay, so you can turn this on. You can turn your grid on, and then you see the lines. All right. So as بتشوفوا where the line cross together, these are what we call the focus points. So naturally, our eye would look at a picture and would focus on these points. Naturally. Okay, so if you placed your subject على these points, it would make it way more interesting than framing it off. So بطريقة إنه عيني بتعرف وين تطلع. If that dog was a little more off to the right, it would throw me off because ما حعرف وين تطلع. إذا عم بتطلع على الكلب أو عم بتطلع على الأيسبرجز اللي ورا اللي هن out of focus. Some more examples. Framing a portrait. كمان this is the ideal way. The eyes, شفتوا كيف eyes, they're like on the two focus points and the head is, the face is well shaped in that square. This helps a lot. And this is when we have the right picture, is when we have two things to focus at or more. So we have the woman standing on the bottom right and the light, the main source of light on the top left. Okay? عم بقطع عليهم هيك شوي على السريع يعني. This is the easiest one because they're there and you just see them. Negative space is a second composition element. So sometimes when you have too much of emptiness is not bad as long as you have something else to focus on. مثلا that tree is صورت هيدا الtree and with less negative space يعني let's imagine that frame here it would still be interesting لأنه حيضل في negative space بس إذا كان في عجقة وهيك ومش معروف شو من شو ما حأعرف وين أتطلع إذا حتطلع على الtree ولا على العجقة. So more examples مثلا something as simple as that bike. This is an interesting way of doing it. Personally, if I would have taken that picture, it's not the best kind of picture, but it's something of a worst case scenario, something to notice. And I would even widen my angle so that I would have more negative space. So هيك بطريقة معينة the bike would have more relevance. Okay, and Lego the picture to the right قد حلوة. And it has something else, by the way, that we will talk about, اللي هو lines. Symmetry. By the way, إذا في حدا ما فهم, I can't see the chat box. So either someone tell me إنه حدا انحكي or please. Or
Yeah,
just
don't
open
worry,
the mic
Rami.
and
I
go
got you.
ahead.
I'm monitoring the
All
chat.
right. So symmetry is another interesting composition element that a lot of us might use and see. If you watch films for Wes Anderson, he is a very well-known director who implements symmetry in all of his frames, mostly. This is actually a screenshot, a frame grab from his film. And this is also symmetry. Symmetry is having exactly the same, a replica تقريبا. يعني إذا I cut this image in half and copy it to the other side and flip it, I would have the same exact picture. And do that to all the pictures and they would be really, really great. Now I wanted to ask you guys if this is a symmetry. What do you think?
I want to say yes, but I'm scared. I feel like I'm being quizzed in
Why?
school.
I want to say yes as
No
well.
quiz, no
I
quizzes here, just
هي
just
وأم
opinions.
هي
Yeah.
ومية.
Someone just
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
So I was saying I think it is a symmetry because يعني وحدة كأنه هي ومبنية وعليها بلاط وكل شيء وحدة لا.
Okay. Anyone else want to guess?
I don't think it is.
I feel like it's two parallel pictures.
Regardless if it's an edited picture or not, it might be edited, it might not be edited. But the point is, it's not asymmetry. You might feel that it is, but if you copy this and flip it to the other side, you would have a completely black picture. Okay? But regardless, what makes this picture look great? It's the lines, the leading lines. All right? And the colors. It's black, it's white. We have a little white here, we have a little black here. So in that way, it might seem like a symmetry. But بالrules, it's not a symmetry لأنه منا exactly the same. But let's talk a little bit about the lines. The lines make us focus على مثل ما بقول in French le point de fuite. I don't know how to translate this to English or Arabic. But the point of where all the lines intersect or where all the lines lead you to. All right? And this is what I'm talking about. If you look at this picture, okay, all lines direct us to look at this woman. All right? غير انه لابسه ابيض وهي بيضة والصورة كلها هيك like it's shady gray. Those lines make us look here and where she's going. So she's going down. If you look at these, come in. This is a curved line that would help me notice the biker here. So naturally, compositions, they help us frame better for the audience to know where to look. I'm not saying audience as an audience as بكرة حيصير عندكم audience, but people look at these pictures and you do too. So if you take a picture, you would know where to look. You would know where to capture someone's attention, where to capture someone's attention. I don't want anyone to look here, so I would put someone there and I would tilt it with the lines of the bench for the person to look at that character. Okay? حدا عنده أسئلة لهلا؟ ولا we're good. Am I going too fast?
The chat says we're
Okay.
good.
All right, cool. Colors is something I find super interesting that I love experimenting with. This is from a movie called Amélie, and it's very known for its implementation in colors and working with colors. You can notice it. You can notice how the image is split in half using just the colors, green, red. And دايما في مثل رابيل يعني انه there's a little green in the red and there's a little red in the green. هي the girl Amélie. Some more examples. I think it's very clear يعني how it's composed and everything is هون with the picture above. Everything is very هيك brownish, desaturated, and then you have that bold red in the middle. Those are extreme examples, by the way. But I know for you guys to know the difference. All right, the same for the house, green and boom, red. All right, so I wanted to show this picture as well, the famous Joker picture. And I wanted to tell you why it's so interesting. غير إنه the colors, everything is bluish and he's the only yellow element in the picture. You can also see the lines. هون مش مرسومين lines بس إنه you feel them, the lines that we talked about. So you have the lines that follows the windows. You have the lines تبع الشادو على الطريق. You have the lines from above. Everything is going هيك in depth. And depth is something that most of you find interesting because I don't know, I assume because it makes the picture look professional هيك لأنه في depth, it's out of focus in the background, it's sharp in the foreground. This might make it look professional وهيك بس إنه مش ضروري. بس إنه sometimes we do implement this to sharpen something in front, to shift the focus على بس this person مع إنه he's far off to the right. If I place the grid, he would not be on that grid. Yet I would still look at him أول ما أشوف الصورة. ما بضيع بالصورة. ما بتطلع على الشباك أو على البلو paint اللي على البس. I would just look at him. مع إنه he's off the grid. Alright? هلا في كتير let me wait. Let me go back to the meeting. That's mostly it يعني for the presentation. Big presentation. All right, 1 second. Okay, so في كتير photographers or should I say artists بيقولوا لكم إنه those rules are meant to be broken, and they kind of are if you know how to break those rules. Okay, ما حدا بيجي بيقول إنه اوكي عندي هيدي الصورة وين الجريد بدي أشوف الجريد لحتى هون. No, it's more of a, as cheesy as it may sound, it's more of a feeling, how would I want to take this picture? But for you guys to know how to break the rules, you need to know those rules and you need to know why they exist, why they're there, why do people follow them. They're there for a reason. They're not there to just يلا just for the fun of it. بدي أعمل جريد حط my character هون أو بدي حط my character red ويكون environment gray. All right, so it does make pictures look better. It does make pictures look more direct. And always remember something, sometimes, most of the times, the less is better. The less I have in my frame, the more I can focus on a certain thing, the more I can highlight a thing. وشوي شوي you build العجقة. All right, so في pictures, by the way, بعتون that are really nice that I will talk about. هن part of the things I talked about just now. Let me share my screen again. All right, so you all see the screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we do.
All right. So who took this picture? Lean. Lean? Yeah.
I did.
Is she with us? وينك؟ وينك Lean?
هون هون.
Hey Lean. All right. So مثل ما كنا عم نحكي مثلا بصورة Lean انه it's interesting and it's an interesting angle and sometimes it just comes because of the location because of the moment we're snapping that picture. ليكو lines شو حلوين عند Lean. You have the yellow line leading us to the car. You have the car leading us to a further point where the depth, and you have the other line and you have the lines تبع الشرايط مع انه هن عادة بيكونوا كتير بشعين بس انه ليكو كيف مساعدين بالpicture. Look how it's all directing my focus to the very far point that I do not even see in the picture. Another example. Colors. Who took this picture?
I did.
انه قد ايه لذيذة مثلا to have everything هيك blue and gray and have that very amber red انه hitting just these parts of the clouds. It's interesting. What about this picture? Who took it?
I did.
What do you like about this picture? You said this was your favorite picture. Why?
I think it was just an action, and I liked the contrast between the background. And she just looked so into putting sunscreen. I just really liked it.
Exactly. So sometimes مش ضروري الكومبوزيشن تبعنا تكون الإف الواو البرفect. All right. So it's just a simple picture. But when I look at it, I feel with her. She feels just هيك so happy. So ما بعرف إنه هيك she's very into putting that cream on her face that you just feel it and it makes you smile. So sometimes capturing that moment is indeed can be everything يعني actually. What makes it even more interesting is okay, she's very sharp. The background منه sharp as well as she is. It's out of focus. It's helping me focus just on her. It's helping me look just on her. لو الباكجراوند ما كان هالقد out of focus, it might have driven my attention away because I can see إنه في عجقة and I can see that there's pink and green in the background and even a darker shade of brown. So it would shift my focus away. So it might have been a lucky shot, it might have been on purpose, بس إنه دغري طلعت sharp, which helped the picture look nice. What about this picture?
This is mine. I took it with my film camera.
This is yeah, this is a super nice picture. I can see that it's on film. And هون it's just غير في الجريد اللي هو you can see the bottom line of the grid that splits the picture in two. في كمان الcolors. They could حلوين colors. Blue, cyan, that shifts to a whitish, and then we have those red chairs down.
The colors are amazing.
Exactly. So you can have different elements من the composition rules اللي I talked about. You can have a combination of those. And the more you combine stuff together, the more you have a more interesting material. عرفتوا? Okay, let's talk about this. Who took this?
I did.
Lean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. هلا انتبهت I can see your names up here, so okay. All right, so Lean, what do you like about this picture?
I like the colors وهاو إنه أخدتها بطريقة إنه I showed like half of the women praying to the Buddha. So it's just so nice, so
All right.
spontaneous.
Okay. All right, cool. Lean, if I would ask you to take this picture again, how would you take it?
I don't know.
Come on, give me something. Try. How would you make this picture look more interesting? No pressure, just the way you feel it. After
Maybe
the
for
things we talked about, يعني وهيك.
ما أنا my internet cut off فما سمعت شي so
ما سمعت.
ما سمعت شي from what you said earlier. I joined like at the end of the presentation because my internet was lagging.
Okay.
But
All right. So,
maybe
yeah.
from more far. ما بعرف, honestly.
Okay. All right. So, in this case, لأنه عجقة شوي، لأنه في كتير colors، لأنه في كتير lines وفي كتير texture that is happening. What the woman is doing is very interesting. She's looking up to the Buddha statue. All right. So, what we can do in this case to give importance للwoman and to the Buddha statue, I would have tried to take it more من ورا الwoman. And I would have maybe bent down a little bit so that when I bend down and take her from an angle that is tilted up, I would give her and the statue importance. And in that way, you're creating depth, you're creating lines. You know, all your lines they're gonna point at the Buddha statue so that it makes it more relevant. هلا حلو the shape of her hand، حلو انه عامله هيك، بس انه I think اذا وطينا نتفه just enough بنضل نشوفها عامله هيك and she's looking at it because we can't see her face either way, and I don't think we need to see her face in that situation. I think we would understand what she's doing when we do this angle. Plus في كمان شيء حلو اللي هن ال red drapes or red filament. I don't know what flags. I think those are flags. So what flags? I imagine في two on the other side as well. So imagine إنه في two flags and the Buddha statue in gold والflags are red and gold وهي لابسة أسود بالنص تحته. I think that would have been a very nice frame to
Yeah,
consider.
I'm picturing it. You're
Do you
right.
agree, Lean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a way of finding the better angle. Sometimes بنكون كتير on the spot. Sometimes إنه بشوف أنا شغلة بصير shit يلا I need to take this. It's happening in front of me وكتير بتصير. بس إنه قد ما فينا إنه أوقات بنصور أول صورة it's the shittiest one, but then بنصير نظبط شوي and you would get the picture you wanted to بالآخر. And I can show you an example actually of a picture I took in Burj Hamoud. So I was in Burj Hamoud and I was in that street and I saw this woman and the girl walking by me. So أول شيء كانوا to the right على ال red building, and I missed them because I didn't take this angle. I was taking another angle from above where just بعلي تليفوني أنا وماشي وبصور. But then I thought about it. I saw the water on the floor, and I thought, ooh, maybe a reflection here would be nice with all the colors. So I just went down. يعني my phone was directly على المي يعني تقريبا, and I just took that picture. I lost the woman. إنه هلا if you look at it, the woman is not in focus. It's not the main. Nothing would tell you to look at the woman. شوي ضايعة الصورة. بس إنه the colors طلعوا كتير حلوين لأنه ربحت الرeflection. So بتصير sometimes you just have to improvise and look for anything, and then when you take the picture then you realize this is interesting. So هيدا مثلا, this is another picture. Sorry, panic. Okay, so this is another picture. I think لو ما الضوء هون كان ضارب بهالطريقة ما كانت طلعت الصورة interesting. It would have been very flat because light plays a huge role in the picture. And we will be talking about that. Yeah.
Someone's asking you, did you take this picture from your phone?
Yeah. Both pictures from my phone.
Because they're complimenting you a lot in the chat. I don't know if you could see the chat, but everyone's telling you that you're awesome.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Also, Rami, some people want me to tell you that they sent pictures today morning and a bit if you want to look at them on the WhatsApp.
Yeah. I will go over the pictures on WhatsApp. هول بس الصور اللي طلعوا قدامي. Okay, let's take another one. All right. This picture is a rule-breaking picture because you can see that it's a low shutter speed. You know, it's a low shutter speed, yeah, and you can see the motion كذا وهيك. I think it's a very interesting picture. بس شوي ضايعة. Who took this picture?
I did. Lean.
Who are you? لين.
Lean.
لين. ايه بعتي ألبوم. Okay, Lin, what
Yes.
would you do if you would take this picture again? How would you make it better?
I wouldn't walk when I'm taking the picture. Because I wanted to take the picture in a normal picture بالغلط هزت ايدي when I was walking because we were crossing the street وكان صارت هيك فحسيتها هيك شوية aesthetically هيك حلوة بس I would stop from walking and I would focus أكتر on it.
Okay, this is the correct, safe way of thinking. What is nice about that picture is that it's actually blurry and out of focus ونازع الدنيا وهيك. That's what's nice about it. That's what's interesting. And that's what I was saying about breaking the rules and knowing how to break the rules. تعرف ليش your camera عملت هيك؟ لأنه it's at night. And for your phone camera to capture that minimal light, it has to open its shutter, take information, and then close. So what the information it's taking is on a span of 3 seconds on average. So imagine انت فاتح الشاتر تبع your camera and you're receiving 3 seconds worth of information. So it's gonna do that. It's gonna do the after image kind of thing, which is interesting. But how to make it better? Frame it well. So مثلا أنا محلك كنت وقفت عكسهم عكس الناس. I would have stood يعني as the people are walking from that way, I wouldn't walk behind them and take the picture. I would walk and perpendicular to them so that when they're walking from left to right, I would capture them from left to right and I would see them blurred. That would make it interesting. I once did this on purpose, and this is one of my favorite pictures actually. This is what happens when you open your shutter speed. So I told Cardi to shake her head, to turn her head as I snapped the picture, and I lowered my shutter speed. So this is what I got. It's like an after image, like the camera took information of when she was looking in that direction and طالما برمت يعني لا طلع لي this picture, and the plant is not moving, so it's sharp, and her shoulders are like just a little bit shaky. The couch is very sharp. Okay, so this is the same technique as this picture. Is that better? Who sent this?
Nadine, but I don't know if she's here. Oh, she is here. She is here.
Oh, just a second.
Shit. Sorry, Nadine.
I think give her 1 minute because she.
Yes. Ermia?
Are you here? Okay, she's here. Sorry.
I reach
All
out
right,
to
cool. This is a very good framing. This is very good framing, بالصورة. You have the dog on the third of the picture. His head is in a perfect spot, and you have the negative space as well that is actually interesting. And you have the nose room, what we call the nose room, yeah, the distance from the nose to the end of the frame. Creating space for the nose room is also interesting. So it would make it like, like this dog is reflecting, and we would understand like قديش هو. Anyways. So this is a very good example of the rule of third and creating negative space and the nose room. Nadine? Hello.
Yeah.
How would you make this picture more interesting?
Okay, I think I would. So I like the way Mia is in the frame because Kamena, you know, if I want her to be in it and she's constantly moving, I do have to take it like sort of really quickly. But maybe I would tilt
Yeah.
my phone a bit higher. Maybe or like I wouldn't want to take it from behind because I think I tried that and it didn't look as good.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
أنا بحس أنا the first instinct كنت صورت هيدي الصورة because it's safe, it's perfect, this is it, okay, and it is good. بس إذا كان عندي الوقت and supposing إنه Mia, I'm assuming her name is just sitting still like that, I would definitely try to take it from a lower angle so that I would put all of her in the sky, and that would be definitely more interesting. And I would also try to maybe shift a little bit to my left and in between, a 45-degree angle, let's say, between this angle and the purely back shot. So somewhere in between بطريقة إنه يكون بعده مبين her nose and the shape of her ears بهالطريقة. So that I would have more of the sky and less of the palm trees and the house behind her. I would definitely try that. Okay. So I would love to go through all the pictures, to be honest. And if some of you guys really want to know, or ask me anything, please بعد the session do text me. I will be available. بس لأنه ما في يطول كتير وهيك, so because
بس في
we
a
don't
question
have
in the
so
chat.
much. Yeah.
Karim
Oh, okay.
asked it. So
Are we going to talk about the technical stuff, like the camera settings and all that? Karim, I would love to talk about the technical stuff, but I know we're doing this using phones. I will not have the time to do so. But if you are interested and if you want to know more about those, please talk to me after the session. Cool?
If a lot of you are interested in camera stuff, text us and maybe the Media Society could set up something else. You never know. Media Society cares about your interests.
All right, cool. So let's move on هيك شوي على السريع. I wanted to do a small exercise where I would give you a situation and you would tell me how to shoot it. There is many of you, but no, we'll try to take as many options. Okay, so let's imagine that we're shooting our best friend, our girlfriend's, boyfriend's a model on some stairs. Okay, so let's imagine the stairs to be about شي 10 درجات, and there's the wall there or the rail, and you're standing in front of those stairs and they tell you to take a picture. How would you take it? You can take 2 minutes to think about it. Meanwhile, I will draw.
Rami, someone asked if you could repeat, please.
Okay, so we're doing an exercise where we have one model or one character standing in front of stairs. درج. Let's imagine the stairs not to be like درج بناية يعني. Let's imagine the stairs to be outdoors, where it's شي 10 15 درجة and في the rails على the sides. So let's say this is the character and this is a rail and this is another rail. Can you guys see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And ورا يعني هون مين بحب يعطينا his his input.
So maybe if you take it from a low angle, so you'd be on the bottom of the stairs, you'd like, squint
Alright.
down, or
Yes.
you'd let the frame be the person in the middle, and then the stairs showing, and then on the side the lines of the rails.
Perfect. Cool.
Yeah, that's how I take it.
Okay, so you're saying lower angle. Yeah,
Yeah.
the character is here. We would take it lower angle on the stairs so that we show the lines, etc.
Yep.
Does
Question.
anyone have another suggestion?
I
Yeah,
have a question. Can you manipulate the model or whoever you're
of
photographing?
course.
Okay.
Akid.
I guess what I would do is I'd situate them right beside the rail and have fun with that, I guess.
So you're telling me you would put her next to the rail and you
Yeah.
would take it من هون.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, how would you take it? How would your camera be in relation to the character?
So it would be in line, like it would be parallel with the rail, so it can create some sort of like satisfying line, if that makes sense. And if I have to like go down and like take the shot from like looking up, that would be very satisfying, I guess.
Sweet. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. Can we take it from the side of the stairs? So Karim, you're suggesting that we put our camera here? Other side. Here? In front of the character?
Outside of the stairs.
What's
So
meant?
we're outside of the stairs, so we can see the railing and the model is on top. يعني
Oh,
آخر
so
شيء to the
الموديل
left.
فوق الموديل
Yeah.
فوق والكاميرا تحت.
No, to the left side or right. حسب.
Here, no, my rails.
Yeah. Like
Cool.
the rails are separating the camera and the model.
Oh, the rail separating the camera and the model. يعني let's imagine في space هون. You would take it like.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. All right. Guys, all the options you gave me are definitely interesting. I think Karim's suggestion depends on the rail and كيف شكلها لأنه في كتير rails بشعين بلبنان وهيك بس إنه definitely doable because you would have something like this. Wait 1 second. I just saw a picture here. One second. There's a shot be the Joker where بيكون على الدرج and it's taken sideways. I think I saw that on Google actually. Joker stairs shot. شي هيك مثلا definitely would be interesting. Right? And this is what happens if we go to a low angle. And I actually got you guys some examples. The examples you gave me about either the model should be here on the side or definitely taking it from a low angle definitely makes it interesting. As I بتشوفوا the pictures here. 1 second. All right, so this is what happens. It's such an ugly picture, by the way. I don't know who's in front of the camera, but if you look at it, and it's straight on. They told the model to sit down. Okay, definitely an interesting pause, but there is nothing interesting happening in the picture. It's flat. The lighting is flat, and ما فيها شيء interesting. Do you guys agree? Yeah, she's definitely vibing. I think it's I don't know why it looks like a plastic.
Looks Photoshop.
Mannequins. I don't know, I'm not sure. Anyways, but let's look at this. This is what sorry, I can't see what you guys are writing. Oh, I can see. Okay. All right. So this is way more interesting where we have the low angle that we talked about, and the camera is a little bit. It's a very narrow staircase. انه في lines اللي بدنا اياهم, which is great. Definitely if we shifted the camera to the left side وقلنا لها هي تقعد على to lay her back على الحديد, definitely كمان would be interesting because we would have more lines from the side which directs us to her, which is great. I found another picture where the light is amazing, and they took it in such a unique way. This is a very flat way of thinking about it, and okay, I would shoot it straight on with the stairs. Actually, بركي شوية من فوق هيدي مصورينها. All right. So, but what makes it interesting is the light. So you have the light striking from back, okay? And this is what I wanna show you guys. You know, sometimes the direction of the light makes the picture and definitely makes it look even better. Front lighting, to talk about lighting, front lighting is sometimes very flat, you know, just ضوء بوجهنا. It would look very flat because shadows are nice. Shadows show depth. Shadows show something definitely interesting. هذا ليه ما بده يسكر. All right. Okay, so I wanted to make to have an exercise with you guys. By the way, في حدا عنده أسئلة لهلا؟ في شيء حدا بده يقوله before we move on? Good. I love the thumbs up thing, by the way. It's so cool.
I think I have a question. Well, not a question, a
Yeah.
statement. What do you think about people
Yeah.
who say that taking pictures on your phone basically like is cheaper quality than taking on a professional camera? Like, how would you debunk that or agree with it? Or I don't know.
Okay. Definitely في some kind of pictures that are professional and do look professional on camera because بالآخر it's a $2,000 camera, and this is what, like, a tiny camera. And everything about cameras, why they're expensive is because they have big sensors, and the camera is the sensor is actually the core of that camera. The sensor of the camera on your phone is that big compared to the camera sensor. I can show you actually what I'm talking about. So if you look at the camera on the inside, okay, you can see that there's a square inside. That's the mirror. Behind the mirror, there's a sensor of تقريبا the same size of that mirror. So compare this to that, definitely you will have better looking pictures quality. بس مش دايما. Phones are actually sometimes way easier to use because you just take your phone and snap that picture. Okay, but when you're taking product pictures, you want that depth because that's done digitally in the phone. But I will take product pictures right now with you guys with my phone, and they will look as good. هلا, the advantages of having your camera is that you have more control over your camera in terms of settings وهيك, but you can still download an application that helps you control those settings. Did I answer your question, Tamara, or not quite?
Yes, you did.
Okay. هلا, honestly, nowadays I've been looking at some Instagram pages, and they take amazing pictures, and everything looks very fresh, very clean, and it's all taken with their phones. So I know in some circumstances, a phone looks as professional as the camera. For example, if you throw yourself in natural light, definitely it's going to look good on the phone. But when you try to shoot something with low light, this is where the camera comes in handy. This is where the camera has an advantage because of the sensor thing I was telling you about. The camera understands way more light than your phone does. All right, but there are some tricks to it. So كان في حدا بأول السيشن عم بيقول إنه he would like to take products, pictures for products and هيك. Who was it?
أنا جنى.
Jana. Okay, so we're gonna do a thingy where I have some products from my friends. She does those beautiful things. She does everything handcraft, envelopes, coasters. I don't have coasters right now. We would like coasters, but بعتت لي هول the envelopes. And we're gonna try to take pictures of these. If you like them, by the way, her page is called Rebirth on Instagram, and she sells those. And she's very talented. But right now, we're gonna take some pictures. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is choosing something ideal. I don't just pick random envelopes because I'm looking for patterns, because it's all patterns. It's based on patterns. So I see this one مثلا عندك إنه في كتير black هون وهون. So this might be interesting and contrast with my background. And we should always think of our background. وكمان في هول مثلا support small businesses. Exactly. Okay, so هون مثلا both of them في لهم circular shapes, if you can see them. So I think those would look nice as well with each other. All right, this is actually nice as well. Okay, cool. So look at these مع بعضهم. They form like two lines that might intersect. So إذا بحطهم هيك مثلا, I know that it would look good. Steph was with us, by the way. I don't know if she still is. No, I don't think so. Anyways, so first thing we do, I'm gonna bring you guys with me. So I picked these two, and I brought these, the circular ones, and I dropped this one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, first thing, look for a good spot to take those. So first thing I do personally is look for a background or something to have in the back or in the frame. Why? Because background matters. I don't want it to be كتير معجقة because it's a product. I want to highlight the product. Okay, no. Okay, so I want to highlight the product, so I need to look for a good background. مثلا, I'm gonna try this table here. It's a black table. And because those are black and white, I think it would look good. It would have a nice contrast. Then they're white and black. Okay, so what I'm doing now كمان is إنه أحطهم بطريقة إنه تكون لذيذة. The way I told you guys, like the lines complete each other, okay? And trying to form some kind of a shape. I'm improvising, by the way. كتير معقول يطلع شيء كتير بشع بس. Alright. For example. Okay. Second thing I'm gonna do is think about my lights. So to take product pictures, حلو يكون في that soft light, that very هيك decent lighting. You do need to think about your lighting. How to find good lighting is something very, very important and helps a lot. مثل ما قلت لكم قبل شوي, backlight is كتير يعني محبب because backlight highlights something, it shows the shape of it. It separates it from the background. So when you're shooting outdoors, when you're shooting in direct sunlight, always think, I don't want my sun to be on my side. يعني I don't want the sun to be دغري حدة, like behind me. I want the sun to be behind my character or on our sides. So if the sun is on our sides or behind the character, you would definitely have something interesting. Oh, here's stuff. Okay. So that's it. That's the thing when I'm shooting outdoors. Oh, to show you an example, I'm gonna try. This is a light. Okay. Okay. So if I turn on this light, let me crank it up. Okay. It's very flat. I don't know if you can see me now. It's very flat. It's nothing interesting. But if I angle it a little bit, you can see the highlights it's showing. Well, that's too strong. But then we can see the highlights it might form. When I have it back, it's not going to look good here, because I'll show you later. But then مثلا هون angled, It's interesting because I have shadow. The rest of my face is on the shadow side. Same for here. It's something very simple. The more I move it, the more interesting it gets. This is very interesting, for example. هلا it's too strong, I know. بس إنه wait, okay. شي هيك مثلا. Okay, so if you're shooting at home and don't have this light, I use this just to show you. But I look for a source. My sources at home are windows. Window 1, window 2. So what I can do is just get this table closer to my window. Let me put you guys here. Okay, so I got closer to the window. So هلا I have something that is, more diffused and there's a good big source next to me. هلا السيرفس معقول يكون كثير laminate, معقول كثير to reflect the light in such an ugly way. بس the way to نهرب من هيدا الشيء is softening. The way you can soften the light is use those curtains. 1 second. Is use those. This is a natural diffusion for the light, and it's very, very reliable. It's nothing professional. Like we actually use something very similar on professional shoots, like these. 1 second. Well, I don't have any here. Anyways, but yeah, sometimes we use gels. We use gels like this one. It's a roll of gel. We call it gel to diffuse the light. But in at home, you guys can use the curtains, which is very natural. So هلا حجرب اخد الصورة. And I'll send it on the group. One second. By the way, إذا حدا بده يحكي guys, please go يعني عادي شاركوني while I take this picture. You guys good? وينكم؟
Are you using the grid option, or has it become like natural for you to know how to sort of situate it in the pic?
I just see it without seeing it, إنه خلص it's natural. I just wherever I put my phone, it's in my mind and I just see it. But sometimes I do use it بس تخبص معي. إنه بس يكون في كذا element and مش عارف وين حطهم. If I want to break the rule, I would know where the grid is مثلا and I would put it. I sometimes use it كمان تاخد صورة جالسة because sometimes we take pictures of the sea, for example, of the ocean, and there's the horizon and everything. So you want your picture to be straight. So I use the grid to have that straight line and ما تكون لاوقة. So هيك.
Okay.
There's one thing I forgot to tell you about, by the way, بالphones. Okay? If you press on your camera, هون, بيجي هذا الfocus point and it has the rectangle and everything. And there is next to it that sun icon. This is gold. This is something that you can definitely use to make your picture more interesting. What this does is you have control over the exposure of your picture. If you bring that sun down, تلاقوا شو عم بيصير عم تغمق الصورة. Alright? This can work highly for your benefit. Okay? Now your phone tends to overexpose things. And overexpose mean make it brighter because it has the tendency, it's programmed to make your picture look fresh and nice. But sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you want to lose that flair. Sometimes you want to lose that مثل هون هلا عندي أنا الطاولة ملامعة. You don't want, so you bring your exposure down and it definitely helps.